I would wish upon a star, but that star, it doesn't shine. So read my book with a boring ending, a short story of a lonely guy. Welcome along to the Guy and Harley podcast, a show that is a never-ending cycle of non-stop nonsense. My name is Hairy Navel.
And I'm Gay Pigeon.
Welcome to the Hairy and Gay podcast. Gay and Hairy podcast.
Classic Blink-182 lyric there.
Yep. Every now and then you just got to go back to your roots, you know?
So it's been a while since we did a podcast.
Yeah, it's been a couple of weeks, and you know what's sad? Liam Hegarty has not been baying for blood.
He didn't even fucking care.
Haven't heard a peep out of him.
He's like, you know what?
He's like, I'm over this. I get the shtick now. I get the Guy and Harley shtick. I get it.
Shit.
I get it. I'm done with it. It's not funny or entertaining anymore. Wank jokes and 36-year-old men are only funny for so long.
Well, I'm just trying to open up one of these fancy beers.
Yeah.
That I'm only allowed to drink half of.
Garage Project beers. He's drinking half because we're sharing, because I want to try both. So we have just finished working on a festival, you and I. I got to hire a sexy piece of ass to be my assistant, one with a beautiful grey beard, and that was you.
It was. You needed someone to be your little bitch boy.
Yep.
And go around running your errands and
Yeah.
doing your chores for you.
Yeah.
And anytime you didn't feel like doing something,
I just
call on me to go and do it.
Anytime my boss gave me something I didn't want to do, I just give it to you. Just pass that along. Yeah.
So I enjoyed that.
Yeah. How was I as a boss? Was I a fair, benevolent boss, or
yes.
was it an unpleasant situation?
No, I think you're pretty fair. I mean, you did make me do more work than I'd like to do, but that's true of every boss I've ever worked for.
True.
So, but
the only issue really was the inappropriate touching. Perhaps. Inappropriate workplace touching.
But, again, having been in the work industry, for sort of close to 20 years.
The work industry. Yeah.
I'm even used to that.
Yeah, well, it was a big success. Every event, so I was in charge of, I don't know, maybe like eight events or something like that over about 2 weeks, and also I had about 6 or 7 international guests plus a few kind of extra hangers-on such as family members and so on, and it all had to be organised, and it all kind of went pretty smoothly, I think. Did you see any disasters around?
I didn't, no. Everything seemed to go all according to plan. You were the guest coordinator.
Yeah.
Is that what your official title was?
The guest
and festival coordinator.
No, guest and event coordinator.
Oh, sorry.
I'm the guest and event coordinator. But in Phil Goff's thank you speech, Mayor, Right Honourable Phil Goff, the Mayor of Auckland, in his thank you speech at the opening ceremony and awards night, what did he do?
He said he gave you a special individual shout out.
Yeah, 1.5 million people in Auckland. Whose name is in the mayor's mouth? Harley Neville. That's who. Harley Neville from South Dunedin, the uneducated smartass. Take that, Jane Johnson, principal of Logan Park High School, circa 2000.
Said you'd never amount to anything.
Questioning whether or not I should be allowed to rejoin Logan Park after I left for a little while.
After getting terrible grades and generally doing a shit job as a student.
Okay, sure, I was a smartass and I was flunking, but that's her job.
Harley, I have to question whether we should allow you back. What? What's wrong with me? Yeah. Well, you're terrible at your at schoolwork. You are failing a lot of things. You have got into trouble multiple times.
Yeah.
And you have a very bad track record.
Yep.
That's the reasons.
Okay, but Jane, I get that, but here's the thing: you don't earn your money working with the good kids. Okay, you earn your money working with the difficult kids. This is literally your fucking job, Jane. So when I come back to school asking to rejoin school, you should be like walking my ass on in and saying, "Welcome back, young man."
Bow down when you come to my town.
Exactly.
Yes, well...
So anyway, Phil Goff, Right Honourable Phil Goff, the
of
mayor of
Auckland.
1.5 million people in the city. He's not talking about them, though. He's talking about Harley Neville. He called me the event manager.
Yeah.
Which sounded nice. That had a nice ring to
Had a
it.
good
So
ring
maybe
to it.
next year I'll ask to upgrade my maybe the guest and event manager.
You know, the funny thing is, he could have shouted out the wrong person.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was like, so who's the event manager? And they go, well, there's Harley's the
Guest and event coordinator.
And he goes, well, no, I want the event manager. And they go, oh, well, we don't really have anyone. Ah, fuck it, I'll just
Right,
call
I'll just call him
Harley.
later. I'll just call him
Okay,
later.
so-
Well, he's got my vote anyway. I'm just saying, he's got my vote.
But
Good to hear he's been re-elected.
I was sitting in attendance when this happened. When
Yeah.
Phil Goff, the mayor of Auckland, shouted out my friend, my best mate, Harley Neville, and the shit-eating grin on his face, even though he wasn't even quite his back was to me, but the aura of his shit-eating grin, he could have eaten so much shit that day
And
because
still been grinning.
that grin was just plastered all over his face a mile wide.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, I was like, damn. I was like, the mayor. And then I was like, fuck, Harley is going to be gutted that this moment is not recorded for him to play ad nauseum over all his social media platforms.
Oh, yeah. We'd put it in this show. We'd put it in the podcast right now. We'd cut to it right now.
Yeah.
Oh.
But unfortunately, it was only there for the
live
600, 800 guests, however many it was.
Yeah, the elite of Auckland's filmmaking, short film making, and other business community.
And so anyway, but I thought that, and then as I mentioned when we talked about this, as you were quite keen on talking about it.
Yeah.
Since that event.
Yeah.
That most people, 99.99% of people, will never get a shout out from the mayor.
That's true.
I will probably never get a shout out from the mayor.
Unlikely.
So that's actually rarefied air. Did you tell your mum?
I did tell my mum, of course. That reminds me. I've got to text her back because I also told her our other recent good news.
You go, that reminds me. I messaged her what I've done and
Didn't
then
ask her how she was.
ignored everything else and didn't reply to her follow-up text.
Yeah.
I just wanted her to know that.
Yeah.
Mayor of Auckland.
No, I unblocked her and then I texted her and then I blocked her again.
Speaking of unblocking, I've just realised I've got to message my girlfriend to say that we're podcasting, otherwise I'll get in trouble for not telling her when we started.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you're like a neutered dog.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well, luckily she missed this part of the conversation where I said you're like a neutered dog. So, yeah. Yeah.
Shout out from the mayor. I think the only problem with those festivals is you've always got to be on, don't you?
Like you got to be, as in you're hanging out with the guests or whatever, and you can't be like, I'm having a shitty day.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to be like, I'm here to help you, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah, and isn't this amazing?
Yeah.
This wonderful city of ours.
This cocaine is amazing.
The place where we live and we've lived for 7 years and have completely indifferent to now. Isn't it amazing?
I don't mind showing people around though. I think I kind of like showing off, the places that I think are cool.
But it's the up energy, I think.
Yeah.
Maintaining the up energy after you've been up all night.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it's just
to be fair, Guy, you probably should have not worked your overnight job in the middle of it. That might have been an era of judgment.
That was a
might
mistake.
have been, yeah.
There was
Perhaps you underestimated how busy you'd be.
that was a little oversight on my behalf.
Yeah, to work 11 p.m. until 7 a.m. after
Yes.
doing guest stuff. We went to Waiheke Island for a day.
Yeah.
We were over there all day. We drank some sake with the guests because
Yeah.
it was a Japanese focus this year. We drank some sake with the guests in the sun. We went for a reasonably long walk, and then we
Yep.
watched some movies in a comfortable cinema and ate an ice cream. And then we had to catch a boat there and a boat back, like about 45 minutes each way. So by the end of that, I was like, "Fuck, I am ready for bed." And Guy was like, "Fuck, I'm going to work for 8 hours from 11 p.m.
Yeah. No, that was not gonna lie, that was a tough shift.
Yeah.
That was a tough one.
Mm.
Sometimes the old the energy levels start dwindling.
Yeah.
My girlfriend has just got back to me and messaged me that terrible internet at our flat
Yeah.
is not allowing
Because
her.
you are still at the Suicide Arms.
I am at the Suicide Arms. I do have a little bit of an update on that.
Yeah.
I am, as of Monday, not going to be at the Suicide Arms anymore.
Yeah. You've got a new flat, and it's actually not too far from me.
It's just around the corner. Well, it's in Grey Lynn.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of probably about the same distance away, just in another
Different
direction.
direction, right.
Maybe
What-
not quite. But definitely much easier to get to, like, in traffic. So I moved into Grey Lynn.
Also, it's just a cooler
Much
suburb
better
as well.
location.
Cooler suburb with cooler, trendier, hipster filmmaker types.
It's an actual house. Yes, it's going to be freezing cold and mouldy and all
those-
the favorite things about Auckland that you just love
well,
about
not Auckland,
flats.
New Zealand as a whole.
Yeah,
Because as a whole,
yeah.
New Zealand as a whole has third world housing
That you are expected
that
to
we
pay,
top dollar for. You pay top
Exactly.
dollar for them. Yeah.
and we are definitely
I-
paying top dollar for this place as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm looking to buy one of these hovels and be an unscrupulous landlord next year. I'm going to get in some poor family and I'm going to charge them way too much.
And then keep jacking up
And
the
then
rent
keep jacking up the
every
rent.
6 months.
And I'm going to do the absolute bare minimum amount of maintenance. Bare minimum. Looking forward to that. Passive income / karma. It's not that they earned the karma. It's that I grew up in houses like that, so now it's somebody else's turn to suffer.
Someone else's
Fuck
turn.
you guys.
It's someone else's turn to eat shit and like it.
Exactly.
Cool. Well, that's good.
Yeah. Well, so I missed a bit of work with getting sick, and I also had a bit of a quiet period there. Anyway,
On death's door.
so I moved house. That interrupted my work situation.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had a quiet period anyway where my work just kind of died down around that time. Then I injured myself / got sick and was on death's door. And
Which
then
I came and saved your life.
you
you'll
came
recall.
and Guy heroically kicked in the door and threw me over his shoulder like a fireman, and he fireman carried me out of the room, put me in the car and drove me to the emergency doctor.
And not only that, I also bought him a Subway with way too much mayonnaise in it.
I literally couldn't eat it. I didn't eat it. I couldn't. It was a complete waste of money.
I saw them putting that mayonnaise in
Yeah.
and I was like, ooh boy.
I was like, because my stomach was pretty weak. I was like, I need something just real simple. I was like, oh, give me like a chicken sandwich. And he came with this mayonnaise sandwich with
It was
with
technically a chicken sandwich, but
Yeah.
it had too much mayonnaise in it.
it was a mayonnaise
was-
sandwich with a sprinkling of chicken.
Yeah, that was on them, that Subway. They really
Yeah.
shit the bed on that.
Yeah.
And I was so close to being like, oh no, that's too
never-
much. That's
yeah.
ridiculous. But I was
Yeah.
like, I
You're
can't be
just
bothered.
too scared.
I can't be bothered with the rigmarole of this.
Yeah.
So
Well, you'd have to go back to the front of the line.
I'm
and
just gonna get. I'm just
start
gonna.
again.
Hopefully, he won't notice.
Mm,
I originally bought you a pie,
yeah.
and then I ate the pie
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the time I was like, shit. If I give him, what's worse? I was like, because he requested a sandwich. There's no sandwiches. We've
Yeah.
run out of sandwiches, and I was like, okay, I'll get him a pie. He likes pies.
He's a pie eater.
Mince and cheese.
He's a pie eating little cunt.
Mince and cheese, his favorite.
Mm.
So I got him a mince and cheese pie, but then I was like, I'm miles away because I had to get petrol as well.
Yeah. You don't have the energy to make it all the way to me. You
and
got to
I-
eat the pie to get there.
And I was like, shit. The pie was lukewarm when I got it
Mm.
because it came out of that fucking pie oven that's not hot enough.
Mm.
It always never not hot enough, really.
Mm.
At our favorite cafe. Great cafe, but they just have
The
no
hot
idea
food's-
about heating the pies.
Yeah, the hot food's not hot.
It's an amazing. It's one of the greatest cafes of all time. But the pie situation, it tastes great, but it's just not right because it's just not quite hot enough.
Same with the toasted sandwiches.
I haven't had
Anyway.
toasted sandwiches from there, but anyway, so I got him this pie and I was like, nah, it's gonna be cold, so I better eat that.
Yeah.
I better take one for the team and eat that.
And then you got me a saucy sandwich
So a
instead.
saucy sandwich didn't work. Anyway, I saved his life. That was the
point.
Yeah, it was the gist of it.
That was the point. Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah.
Good friend.
Yeah. 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 So I had a bit of a quiet period, but I actually learned something on this podcast once. I learned it from you on this podcast.
I'm glad you're learning things from me.
Yeah. Well, this is not just a filmmaking podcast.
It's a podcast about our lives.
It's not just a podcast about our lives.
It's
you could have said.
Oh.
It's educational as well. It's an educational thing, right? So Guy told me on the show one time to have a runway, and he explained to me the concept of a runway, a financial runway, where you've got a little bit of money to pay your rent for the next few weeks. And I was like, this is revolutionary, you know. But so anyway, I was okay during my quiet period. But anyway, the point is, I then went into this festival job, which was a big job, involved going up and down to Wellington a few times and that type of thing. And then finally, I finished that job today, and then now I've got heaps of freelance work all of a sudden. I've got like 3 days left before our next big adventure, which we haven't told the listeners about yet.
That's right.
So I've got 3 days off. I was busy on the festival. Now I've got work, and then I'm off.
You're going to LA.
I'm going to LA.
To the American film market.
Yeah, that's the one.
To sell older.
Finally, after 6 years of slaving away, we are finally at the stage where we're about to try and sell older after all of these years.
And not only sell older, hopefully even maybe set up our new film.
Yeah, we're aiming for that.
So, yes.
Following in the footsteps of Bernie Rao, who did My Love and My Lazy Boy, took it to the American film market, and that led to him making more movies. Shout out 5150 listener, Bernie Rao.
And shout out to his proposal, which I copied.
Yeah.
When creating a proposal.
Oh, I've copied so much of his stuff. I've been going to him for advice all the time. Which accreditation should I buy? How should I handle meetings? All that type of thing.
So Bernie has been a good friend.
Where can I get a good happy ending? In Santa Monica. I'm going to Bernie.
Ask Bernie first. So anyway,
if anybody knows where I can get a good happy ending in Santa Monica, just slide into my DMs.
So you're going to LA as a producer.
Yes, yeah. No, well, hang on. We have a long history of giving our adventures operational code names. Like, for example, Operation GoPro, Operation Semi-Pro, Operation Flying Sparrow, my plan to intercept my ex-girlfriend at the airport and convince her not to leave me.
Classic.
So this one, we've got my upcoming trip to LA after 6 years of suffering. We're trying to sell older, right? Which is great. It means it's only about 2 years from now until it finally might actually come out somewhere. But we've codenamed this one, this mission to sell older, Operation Get Laid in Hollywood. That was decided last episode.
Yeah. I see. Look, the most important
code name.
The most important thing a producer does is schmooze with people.
Yeah.
And go to parties and drink alcohol.
Yeah.
As is the most important thing an actor does
is
scoff lollies and flirt with extras.
Yeah.
And you see that, you would think like, well, no, it's the acting. No, not important. Flirting, scoffing lollies.
Yeah.
Producing, well, you think it would be putting together these
funding applications
and all that stuff. No, not important.
No.
Drinking, sleeping with women, and going to these very fancy parties.
Well, I mean, to clarify, it's just a code name. It's Operation Get Laid in Hollywood. It's purely a code name.
But also, we better give a quick shout out to my beautiful, wonderful girlfriend who helped us with this proposal. and she put in a lot of time, as did I. You're welcome.
I supervised from afar.
You're welcome. We are both, I would say, solely responsible for your trip away.
That is not true. Definitely not solely responsible. I went and did what I do, which is I went and had a meeting with the person who decides, put a face to that application. It was a team effort. Thank you very much. And I also had to fill out all my part of it, which was all on the website.
Yeah.
It was largely copied from your one, but I had to change it. I had to change it from third person to first person, okay? And that required quite a lot of editing because it said Harley has produced these movies. I had to change it to I have produced these movies. Yeah. So there was it was a team effort.
It was a team effort, and but yes, and my beautiful girlfriend came to the party and she helped us out. She did all the stuff that we can't do, which is the designing and layout of these posters and all these stuff. And she made these
excellent work. Made
these posters for some of the things that we haven't actually made posters for, and she put it all together and she did a great job. So we're very grateful.
Yes.
For that. So thank you to Tisha.
Tisha?
Yeah, it's her name now.
You've changed your name. Right.
She's changed her name.
Oh, yeah?
I suggested the change of this name.
So what? I should be calling her Tisha now?
Yeah, well, you may as well.
Yeah. Tisha.
Yeah, because it's easier.
Well, somebody today was actually asking me about how to say her name.
Everyone asked that. And
I was like, titties are ya.
Yeah, it's really, because it's really difficult, because what you want to say is titsia.
Yeah, I want to say titchia.
Yeah, and all of those are wrong.
But it should be titia.
Well, no.
Titia.
No, it should be titsia.
Titia.
Kind of like teacher.
Titia.
Kind of like teacher, but tits and sia.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all too difficult.
Yeah.
She's given up on people just, being culturally sensitive.
Yeah.
And now she just goes by Tisha.
Tisha.
But right. I call her, I still like to call her incorrectly by her name, as if you would say it as you spelt it over here. Because I am, English at heart. Yeah.
Well, so shout out to Tisha.
Thank you very much
for
darling.
For all that hard work. So yes, that's very exciting. We've received a lofty sum to send me all the way to Hollywood to attend the American film market. I've started lining up a bunch of meetings. I haven't received the money yet, but I've booked my flights, I've booked my accommodation, and I've got my visa. I've applied for my visa, and now I've got to buy my accreditation because it's like $600 or maybe even $695 US or something like that to attend this film market for 4 days. So I'm working on all of that at the moment, and I'm also a little bit sort of nervous, because I'm going to be having all these meetings, with all these Hollywood sales agents and distributors, and I haven't sucked a dick in so long. So what if I fuck it up? That's 6 years worth of hard work down the gurgler.
Literally down the gurgler.
Literally down my gurgler. So, but let's just say
you'll figure it out.
When it comes to success, I'm not afraid to put the suck into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And look, it's very cool. I wish I could be joining you.
Yeah, well, that would be the ultimate adventure, really, wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, well, really, the main reason is that I'm actually going away to London around the same time.
Yeah.
But I also
us jet-setting Pigville boys.
I wasn't necessarily sure that if I wasn't going to London, that I'd be able to get that time away. It turns out that I could have, so we fucked up. Is what I'm saying.
Wait, what? You could have done both.
Well, not
money-wise.
Probably, almost. Yeah. Almost. Actually, had we known that?
No. Well, hang on. What do we know? What did we not know? Say that again.
Well, if you'd gotten the funding to go to LA, had we known that earlier, perhaps I could have joined you. And then gone on, maybe.
Right. Like, for example, last time you got the funding for I Survived a Zombie Holocaust, you got a grant.
Yes.
For the same amount, to go over to LA to attend Screamfest Film Festival, the biggest and best horror film festival in LA. You should go check that one out if you get the chance. So Guy got a grant, and of course I scabbed along, and I didn't have to pay for the accommodation because it was all covered by Guy's grant. Guy paid for it, and I just slept there. But I did have to pay for all my flights still, which was
quite a lot.
I mean, I still spent a lot of money overall.
Oh yeah, we were going
know.
through a fair bit of money there.
Yeah. And I will this time too.
Man, I want to go to another festival, bro.
Well, they're good fun.
They're really good fun. Like if this festival that we've just done has taught me anything, is that I want to be a guest at a festival.
Yeah, exactly. See, that's that testimony to how much fun our guests were having. I sent my last guest today on the plane to Japan after many merriments. So yeah.
Speaking of Screamfest, maybe we should probably mention that film.
Your film, did just win.
Oh, I forgot about that.
That earlier you were going to say. Oh, okay. So we got two things to talk about: festivals and short films.
Also, just
one
as
is
a
that,
quick aside, because we haven't actually said. You're going to AFM. It's the American film market.
Yeah.
What is the American film market?
Good question. Let's talk about movies.
The American film market is basically sort of a conference, I guess, of distributors and sales agents and producers like Harley that are all going.
Well, I hope they're not like me.
They're all going to peddle their wares. Now, some of them will have finished films like we do. Some of them may be pitching films. A lot of people will be sort of showing their films to potential distributors and sales agents saying, hey, I've got this hot new film starring Guy Pigden. This up and coming star, this rising star in New Zealand who got dropped from his agent
recently
as the lead actor. So you guys interested in this? Normally they will have like a big star attached. Yeah,
so one of the sales agents, like we've received a lot of very positive feedback on Older from the sales agents and distributors, which is nice.
Yep.
We've received a positive response thus far. But one of them did say, bluntly but fairly, that the issue with the low-budget drama romance, if it doesn't have a star attached, is that it's very difficult to sell. So, because it's like, who gives a shit about, you're not Ryan Gosling. Yeah. Exactly, and so that's an issue. So he said that, but he didn't say that it was dead in the water. He said that we needed to have what was that term he used?
Adjust our expectations.
It was very similar to that.
Or have very low expectations.
It was to have tempered expectations. He said
right.
If we had tempered expectations, that we might be able to figure something out. So yeah, it might be a bit of a struggle, maybe, but so far everything's pretty positive.
Yeah. And look, I mean, there's a few of these big markets. There's the American film market, there's Cannes, and then I think there's one other one, or maybe two other ones that are a bit smaller. So, but it's a pretty big deal to be going over there, bro.
It is. Well, I mean, my plan for Operation Get Laid in Hollywood is to attend a lot of meetings with important people, and I need to start scheduling them like now. And I have scheduled a bunch of them, but I got to schedule a whole bunch more. So yeah, that's the thing. There's quite a lot of work. There's a bunch of things I need to organize, and I'm a bit worried about my Airbnb because in the ad it said it was 25 minutes walk away from the beach. 25 minutes walk away from the Santa Monica Pier, which is where AFM is.
Yeah.
But I Google mapped it and it said 35, and I'm a little bit crippled at the moment. So I was like, that's kind of far. But the thing is, it was $30 cheaper per day than another place that was closer. And the one place had a guy in it who said he was mostly going to be away, but when he was there, it was a 1-bedroom apartment and he'd be sleeping on the floor in the lounge. And I was like, that sounds pretty shit. And it was $30 more than this other one. And now the other one was hosted by like sort of an elite member, or whatever they call them on Airbnb, which is a person who's had heaps and heaps of people and has a high rating. And also she's a very attractive Asian woman who is 420 friendly. So
all your weaknesses,
all my weaknesses in one spot,
all your vices,
all of them right there. So that was an easy decision.
Shoot.
That was an easy decision.
And obviously there was absolutely no relation to the dubbing this name when you got that Airbnb.
No, Operation Get Operation Get Laid. That's just an operational name. It's for security reasons. It's like Operation Flying Sparrow. It's nothing to do with my ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
It's just a name. Operation Get Laid in Hollywood.
So that's going to be very cool. We will, obviously keep people updated about that. So the second update, there's two more updates to that. So speaking of Screamfest is now featuring our short film.
We should do a podcast while I'm in LA if we can, halfway through, like an update for the listeners while I'm at AFM.
Well, yeah, we definitely should.
But yes, so Screamfest
are now featuring our short film,
No Caller ID.
Yep. And it's a big fucking hit.
Have you been keeping an eye on the views? How many is it up to now?
Well, the last time I checked, it was up to 64,000.
Yeah. So if you go to
Not bad.
if you look
for a few weeks,
if you look up the Screamfest, I don't know. I think you can probably just find it if you looked up Screamfest LA,
or if you type in No Caller ID Screamfest. I believe it comes up.
Google that. That'll work. If you're on YouTube,
YouTube that.
Yeah. And you can finally watch No Caller ID. Now, I haven't uploaded it to our channels yet, so I haven't really been pushing it. So I haven't shared it, for example, because I want to upload it to our channels. In fact, I have uploaded it to our Facebook and I saved it as a draft, but that's all I've done because I've just been kind of busy. And it's like when I share it, I want to have a bit of time to make a bit of a hoopla about it, So I've kind of been putting it off. But plus, I wanted to give Screamfest a little bit of time to have it on their channel as well, because I know they say they're sharing half the revenue with us. By the way,
okay.
Yeah, but the thing is that 60,000 views is literally nothing. Like, even with ads on it, like we're talking like
$4.
Well, if we're lucky, I don't think it would be $4.
$2.
Yeah, 60,000 views is fuck all. But you never know. But anyway, the contract says they're giving us half. The thing is that there's no way for me to monitor.
The beauty of it,
how much they earn.
What I've enjoyed is going through the comments. A lot of comments.
Positive comments as well, which is a nice change for our stuff.
Well, we literally had a segment where we just read shitty comments.
Yeah, the troll hole.
So
we've kind of let that one die.
We have. Well,
that was probably 50 episodes. The troll hole.
It was good too because there was some very funny There is some funny comments on this one as well. Yeah. So maybe we should bring that back and look at some of these comments.
As long as we don't bring back the tweeter segment, I'll be happy.
Wow, I mean, don't mess with the classics.
Where Guy reads out tweets from people I've never heard of. So that is exciting. And it's really good timing because one of the projects we're pitching in LA, so we're going with multiple projects. We're pretending, the first thing is we're going for...
Pretending? Excuse me?
No, the main thing is for older.
Yes.
But, obviously there's got to be other bits to the slate, right? And so we've got a few other projects. One of them is the documentary, for example.
Yep.
Which is called Glimpses, potentially. Or that's the working title, at least.
Yeah. Well, that's probably what it will be because he named it that. And
okay. Well, then I guess that's what it's going to be
called.
called.
Argue with...
No.
The dead.
No. So there you go. So the documentary Glimpses, that's one of the bits of the slate. There's also Selling of Older. There's also The Family, which is the feature-length kind of expansion of No Caller ID. So it's quite perfect that No Caller ID is right now got 60,000 views on the Screamfest LA biggest and best short film. Biggest and best film festival, horror film festival in LA, has recently featured our stuff. That's all very good timing and good kind of ammo for my meetings. I can be like, yeah, check this out. Boom.
Yeah, and there's like the comment, like we're not used to this likes versus dislike disparity
ratio.
Yeah, normally it's like a lot more dislikes.
I don't actually think that's true.
But this time it's like 3,000 likes and like a couple hundred dislikes.
Yeah.
That's the kind of numbers you want.
Couple hundred dickheads.
Couple of hundred haters.
Yeah.
Couple haters.
Yeah. So if you guys are out there, 5150, and you would like to support us, you can by going along and finding No Caller ID Screamfest. Google that, and when you get there, hit thumbs up and give us a positive comment and say something. And tell them to come check out the Guy and Harley podcast if you get the chance. Post something like that. That'd be really helpful. And also, it's your chance to watch it if you haven't seen it yet, because so far it's only had a festival run. So this is it. And we have a request for you. If you're going to watch it, turn the lights down and make it full screen and turn the volume up. Because we spent a lot of time and money getting it perfect for you, the viewer. So... and then moving on to another short film story is that in episode 133, A Mighty Shaft, we say we're about to, quote, see if a 24-minute film can get into festivals. to get into festivals, referring to Harrow, aka Asylum, the recut of our web series Harrow, which is 24 minutes long. And the answer is no. No, it cannot.
No.
It can't get into any festivals. So thank you to the Sifty 150 for following us on yet another failed adventure, pointless, long-term failed adventure. But those are the things that make this show good. These are long-term sort of story arcs.
That's
know?
right.
Character
that is a
building
long,
story
that's a long
arcs.
story arc, that one.
Yeah.
Because it went from, we're making a web series to, the
Yeah.
web series has come out, to we're changing the web series to a short film, to we're putting the short film out to festivals, to that it's not getting accepted into those festivals.
So that's costing us a lot of money. We should stop submitting.
Yeah.
But there is a silver lining.
That's right. There is a silver lining.
There is an icing on this.
Well, I'll let you
cake.
take over this because I didn't even know that we submitted to this festival.
Well, you didn't. I did. I submitted to that one. So normally, this one was so we got submitted to. We submitted Asylum to a festival called the Franklin Community Film Festival. Now, it was the inaugural festival, and Franklin's not very far from Auckland. It might even be a suburb of Auckland. I'm not sure, but all that's irrelevant. What's relevant here is that Asylum at this film festival won Best Short Film, and Guy Pigden, the Guy Pigden from Dunedin, the uneducated smartass, won.
Never amount to nothing.
Won Best Director.
Thank you.
That's two.
Thank you.
That's two awards taken out by Asylum.
Yeah.
So now I have been emailing the guy kind of in charge of the platform that paid for the original production, and saying to him, hey man, let's relaunch this short film version of this web series as a director's supercut in time for Halloween, because we're 2 weeks away from Halloween. No reply. He's ignored all my emails so far. But now I've got some ammo.
I'm going to email him.
I'm going to email him again, and I'm going to say a winner of Best Short Film at the Franklin Community Film Festival.
Yeah.
And say, look, man, we've got 2 weeks. Let's get this fucking puppy out on Halloween.
And you go, well, what does this festival mean? Well, in the big scheme of things, maybe not much.
No, it's another good piece of ammo.
But what I love about it is that it just goes in the bio. So you got your bio, and
you
it's
can put it
all
on
your
IMDb,
achievements, and it's like, Guy won Best Short Film with this, and he won the best thing.
Guy won Best. So No Caller ID won Best Short Film at A Night of Horror International Film Festival in Sydney, and Asylum won Best Short Film at the Franklin Community Film Festival
and Best Director,
and it all goes on. And now if they
I
set
Survived
up
a Zombie Holocaust,
and I Survived a Zombie Holocaust won
Independent Spirit Award,
the Independent Spirit Award at A Night of Horror International Film Festival. Now, yeah, so that's if they have an IMDb. This is how IMDb works. If the Franklin Film Festival has an IMDb and they register on there, then you can connect to it on IMDb and say that you won the best short film there. So hopefully they set up an IMDb page, and then that will connect up to your IMDb. By the way, you should probably pay for IMDb. If anybody out there is listening right now, they're filmmakers, they're wondering if IMDb is worth it, I personally think it really is, because I've realized that this entire industry is about faking it until you make it. That's what it's all about. And IMDb is an excellent place to kind of fake it. But I was going to say summarize all of your achievements there and make sure that all of those things that you do, it's quite expensive. I think it might be like $180 or something like that per year. It's something. It's a lot. It always comes out, and I'm like, fuck, that's a big hit. But I do think it's worth it, because you look at my IMDb versus your IMDb.
Yep.
Mine looks a lot more impressive. Mine looks pretty legit, And I do think that matters, because when you Google Harley Neville, one of the first things you'll find is IMDb.
Also, one of the first things that filmmakers do or producers do is they Google you.
Yeah.
And they want to see your IMDb credits.
Absolutely.
And especially if they're Americans.
Yeah. Exactly. So I think it's worth it. I do think it's worth paying for. And I've been on it for about probably 3 or 4 years now.
Right.
So again, this whole filmmaking business just costing me money. Definitely in the red.
Speaking of a runway, you know how you said build up a runway, or I said build up a runway.
Yeah.
I built up just a tiny, nice little runway.
Yeah.
Lovely runway.
Yeah.
I was just building it up, and I was
Yeah.
feeling really good, and I literally dropped every fucking dime of it on this new fucking flat, which asked for 2 weeks in advance and 4 weeks bond.
Okay, but here's the thing. That's exactly what it's for. Because imagine if you didn't have that wee runway.
I know.
Now you got to make another runway, but just keep working on it. Just start again. But that's exactly what it's for, and you won't have to do that again. And then on top of that, that money you get back, as long as you don't trash the flat.
But it's an endless cycle.
Well, no,
goes to the next place.
Yeah, well, you think so, except for it didn't happen to me. Like this place, I haven't paid a bond, so I paid one at the last place. I didn't pay one here.
Never ending.
I got
cycle.
cashed out. But to be honest, I'd rather it if I kind of had a bond. Well, not now, but when I still had the bond, if I still had that money, it's kind of nice to know that it's sitting there, waiting.
Yeah. Well, I was living large, was feeling cool with my runway. It's fucking gone.
Start again, my friend. And
I will.
If the listeners would like to contribute, patreon.com/Pigville or pigvilleproductions@gmail.com on PayPal.
But speaking of AFM, it also does mean that it's sort of emergency stations now. It was emergency stations to create this proposal.
Yeah, but now it's actually we've got to have something to try and
But
sell.
now it's emergency stations because damn, well, we need to have shit. So I'm a little bit concerned about that.
Well, I mean, I'm not really, because we've got a movie. We've got a feature film.
It's true, we do.
And that, you got to remember something, right? We have something they want. They are in the business of buying and selling feature films, and we have a feature film.
It's true.
So
I guess I'm thinking about the other things that we'd like to bring to the table.
The other projects.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, look, I reckon, here's what I reckon is going to happen. We're going to get over there. We're going to get a moderate deal for older, which is like good enough, and I think it'll be okay, and it'll make a little bit of money, and it'll be out there. And I think at the same time, we're also going to sort of kick over the first domino that eventually leads to us getting about $100,000 to shoot The Family, the expansion of No Caller ID. That's what I'm predicting here, people.
And it's all thanks to older.
Well, it's all thanks to 2 decades of sacrifice and no children, no houses,
no runway, no runway,
no real OE. I'd never had an OE. Like I went on the cruise ship for 6 months, which was definitely an OE, but it's not quite the same as moving to London or something and working for a couple of years. It's not the same thing. I never did that. It just didn't come about because it just wasn't a priority when you're sort of trying to chase a dream like this. Sacrifices were made, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But if we hadn't have made No Caller ID, which was made to be in older.
Yeah. True that.
It's dominoes.
Yeah. Well, it is all dominoes. But if we never had made Disgusting Hairy Man, would we have made older?
That's a very good question. Or I Survived a Zombie Holocaust.
Or Disgusting Hairy Man.
Yeah, so look, these are the questions that we must ponder. Yeah, also, I mean, we should probably give a shout out to Joss, who is the star of The Family, Jocelyn Christian or Jocelyn Newport, depending on what day.
Well, Jocelyn Christian's her stage name.
Yeah, Jocelyn Christian is her stage name. So, a wonderful actress.
Dear friend of ours.
Dear friend.
Shout out, Joss. Doesn't listen to the show, but shout out.
Could give 2 shits.
Yeah.
But I am catching up with her tomorrow. So, but anyway, she kind of was like, hey, why don't you expand this story? Like, this is really good. Like, people really
like... No Caller ID story.
Yeah, like, No Caller ID. People like, it came together really well. I'd love to replay, be this character again. Why don't you make a feature of it? And I was kind of like, ugh, really? Yeah. Only because, and just in the sense that I'm like that about anything, because we've got so much work to do. That I'm but that's often how I'm spurred into action, is that someone creates a little window of something.
Opportunity.
Yeah, exactly.
It needs to be. You need to thrust yourself inside.
Exactly. I need to insert myself into that window.
Yeah.
And I just need to go at it hell for leather.
Yeah.
And try and make the most of it, pull that opportunity and make the most of it. And
the tighter the window, the better, because it forces you to go harder, quicker. Am I right?
Yeah. And really, you give it your all
Yeah,
to get in that window.
you do. And then
s-
afterwards,
yeah.
that's when you can just relax, spent. But you've got to get there first.
And so that's what we're trying to do now.
Yeah.
Get in that window.
Mm.
Cool. Well, I've got a few things. Actually, we should probably open up.
Is
what?
this a segment that you can start with yourself while I go pee?
Yeah.
Do it.
I'd like to open up a segment of who's dead this week.
Oh, no.
Now, who is dead this week? Was it a... well, actually, there was one guy. I was going to say, was it a luminary from the film world? Well, yes, actually, a guy called Robert Foster died. Do you know who that is, Harley?
No, I don't.
It's the guy that was in Jackie Brown, the old bail bondsman.
No,
Not ringing a bell?
I got nothing.
In the Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, he died, and he's been in a million things. You would have seen him in something. R.I.P. to Robert Foster. But that's not who's actually dead this week.
Though he is dead.
Though he is definitely dead. The person who is dead this week is my family dog, Evie.
It's an awkward moment to
let that moment of silence as Harley pissing was my moment of silence for my dead dog.
The ensuite situation.
So my dog Evie had to be put down today. She was not doing very well. I can't remember. She had some type of medical issue which they tried with medication to sort of alleviate, but it wasn't getting better, and she wasn't very happy, and it was just sort of one of those things where you decide, well, you know, quality of life, you got to go.
Yeah. Well, that's definitely a terrible situation.
And look, one of the worst things in life is
I saw the post on Facebook.
One of the worst things in life is your dog dying.
Yeah.
Now, thankfully, this is my family dog. So it wasn't like when my actual dog died or where your dog died.
Sophie, rest her soul.
And Slade, R.I.P.
Yeah.
The retarded little munchkin that he was.
Yeah. Well, got along right with Sophie.
They did. They were best fucking mates.
Yeah.
As much as he was mates with any dog.
Yeah.
He kind of didn't really clock him too much.
No. Slade liked to rape the faces of young male dogs. That was his thing. That's what he is into.
That was his kink.
He would have sex with young male puppies. He would grab them, but he'd always grab them from the front and fuck their faces. And that was his thing. Slade, rest his soul.
Well, he also probably didn't know what he was doing.
Well, he didn't have a dad to show him, you know?
And we all know that.
And we all know it's your dad that teaches you what to do with the sex. That's normal, right, everybody?
Your dad's there when you have sex the first time, and he shows you what to do.
He does it first.
He'll join in, and he will show you how these things go, and the birds and the bees, and then you will follow up, and that's how we all learn, right?
Yeah. No? Just us? All right. Okay, let's move on.
But anyway, so Evie passed away. Rest in peace,
Christ,
Evie.
how did we end up there from Evie passed away?
You took it there.
Yeah, well...
You took it there.
Rest in peace, Evie.
And it was Cushing's disease that she had. Cushing's disease, yeah.
I haven't heard of that one.
Well, it's, from the Star Wars actor Peter Cushing.
Right.
And the disease is when they put you back in the movie in Rogue Leader, but you're already dead. Right. Cushing's disease.
I see.
So
she's in an X-wing right now.
She's flying off. She's blasting off. But she was a lovely dog. She was kind of a little bit dopey. She kind of didn't really understand the concept of being a dog in a lot of ways, but then another dog, Mara, came in and kind of taught her, like,
taught
hey,
her the dog ways.
this is the dog.
Taught her doggy style.
Yeah,
Taught her doggy style.
We're dogs, right?
Yeah.
This is what you do when you're a dog. And she's like, "But this is what you do? You wag your tail at people and you're pleased to see them?" And she's like, "Yeah, this is what you do. This is how things work. You know, these humans are quite good to us." When she came to us, she was like a really, because she came from overseas. She was a Finnish Lapphund, so it was a kind of a like a wolfy kind of looking dog, but smaller. And they did a lot of like running through snow and pulling things at one point. And so they were like, she definitely came over like having almost like no concept of what human beings were. Like she came over and she was like,
came
what
over
the fuck
from
is
where?
this?
She literally came from another country.
Yeah. I can't remember where she came from, but it was fucking miles away.
Yeah.
And it cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
But anyway, she came over, and I think she'd just been staying with her mum, you know, and her litter of puppies. And then there's all these weird upright humans. And she's like, what is this? I don't fucking get this. But she learned. She learned in time.
I didn't get as close to her as I did to Sophie.
No, and look, she wasn't as much of a delight as Sophie was, but she was still a very lovely dog.
Rest her soul.
So that's who's dead this week. I just got a very disappointing text from my girlfriend.
Yeah, what's she saying?
I'm debating whether I should read it or not.
Go on then. Something bad. What? She's not happy with the show.
No, I'll read at least the start of it.
Okay.
Babe, we can't have sex because I can't shower and I have a job interview with that nutter tomorrow morning. So we can't reek of hormonal juices.
And why can't you guys shower?
So what's just happened is that
that is funny that you read that out.
At the suicide
and shared that with Jason Combs.
I apologize to my girlfriend, but it was
Chuck
funny.
Black.
It was quite funny that she sent me that.
Yep.
So
Jamie Oxley.
The reason that
they all know now.
They all know that we can't. I'm
They're
not having sex with my girlfriend.
No.
So the reason she can't have a shower is because what's happened is there's something wrong with our plumbing.
Yeah,
and this just
showers
happened
poo on you now.
Just as I left, the tap wouldn't turn off, and it was just blasting water to the point that it was just overflowing the sink onto our floor. The only way to avoid it is to turn the water off at the mains. Hence, no shower.
No shower. Right. Well, it's lucky you're getting out of there next week.
I know. I'm very happy. So I may actually go and have a shower at the gym after this.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, not good.
Well, you can have a wee shower in my ensuite if you want. Just ignore the cameras. I've got some feedback here from Chuck Black. How many Chucks could a Chuck Black fuck if Chuck Black could fuck Chucks? I always wonder. He never answered that question. I've got some feedback about last week's episode.
Yeah.
Now, it was Fat Bottomed Girls was the name of the last episode.
Yep, that's
he
right.
says...
Rogue pisser.
He goes, I don't know which story was worse, the piss or the enema. Whichever it is, this is an amusing podcast.
I don't even remember the enema story.
Remember I said that I thought I was constipated and I gave
no,
myself an enema for no reason, but actually it was just farts. It was just 30 minutes of farts in the fetal position. But actually I gave myself an enema for nothing. Yeah. It's always a treat. Now Cole Gadsby says, was the pissing story real? And he also says, fucking hell, the tranny doll and you fisting your ass like a hand grenade had me pissing myself. Bro, I had to pull the car over. I was laughing so hard. So the tranny doll, popping tranny dolls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, genius. Wazza was also, Wazza, 5150 listener Wazza. I wonder if Mrs. Wazza is still a 5150 listener or if she's like, yeah, I get the shtick. Dick jokes, I get it. Shout out Mrs. Wazza if she is listening. Wazza also wondered how true the pissing tale was. Now, I'd like to make a promise to the 5150 listeners. I would never lie about something as important as a fat-bottomed girl pissing on my carpet. Okay? Another promise I'd like to make is that, broadly speaking, all of the stories on this show will always be true. Okay, there's a few embellishments here and there, but I like to think that the embellishments make themselves known quite quickly. All right, we would never, we would never make up a story. Like, for example, I really did get sick the other day, but I didn't really develop an ingenious mechanism utilizing the naturally buoyant properties of farts to fill a red balloon and gently lift my ass towards the ceiling, alleviating my back pressure. You know, I embellished that bit so that I could evoke the image of me floating naked above my bed with my sphincter clenched tightly around the lips of a large red balloon filled with fart gas as I gently rotated on the spot, saying, "They all float down here." You see? It's comedic license is what it is. But the facts remain the same. I stayed sick. I was bedridden. I did faint. Sweat did drip off the tip of my penis.
You did fart a lot.
I did fart a lot in the fetal position. And I did put my entire fist up my ass when giving myself an enema. That bit's not an embellishment, okay? I think it's still in there. I'm getting worried.
Yeah, I'm going to throw this one out to Cole Gadsby if he's listening. So I've just seen on his Facebook from time to time that he's brought a red camera. Now, I don't know if you know much about red cameras.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I know that we shot some of the zombie film on it, right?
No.
I know that we didn't shoot the zombie film on it.
No, we.
What about when we did that slow motion stuff? I thought that was the red camera.
That was the Phantom.
Oh, the Phantom red camera.
So red cameras are, by their nature, fucking expensive.
Yeah.
They are fucking ridiculously expensive. They're like 30 grand. And then you've got to buy like a bunch of add-ons to this. So, yeah, I'll have a bit more beer. So I'm going to throw out the question to Cole. Is how in the sweet fucking God did you afford, with a family on the way, a red camera? And is it fucking worth it, bro? Really?
He's a big shot. He owns his own company now.
I know, but I guess my point is that, like, I don't know, I do a lot of research about cameras. And yes, the red is sort of the be-all and end-all.
Well, we'll have to hear what he reckons, because you've called him out publicly now, and he's going to have to defend himself.
I only call him out in the sense that I still feel like you can do all those big jobs with a not $30,000 camera. Also, I've just heard so many horror stories about the red and, like, how it's this fucking kind of complex computer to work. And if you don't have all your everything in alignment, it kind of shits itself. And if you shit yourself on these huge shoots, that's a real big problem. But then again, Adam seems fine with his, so...
Well, if Adam and Cole choose to buy them, and Guy Pigden's against them...
What does that say?
What does that say?
Well, who makes more money?
Both of them.
Yeah. By how much?
Probably,
a lot.
I would guess somewhere in the vicinity of... I reckon they probably both earn at least $40,000 a year more than you.
Accurate.
That's about my guess.
Accurate.
Yeah.
But if they spent $30,000 on the red, there's really only a $10,000 disparity there.
Yeah.
But I want to know more about this red.
But they've got a red and you don't.
I definitely don't.
Yeah.
But I always...
So it'll be interesting to know if Cole Gadsby has received more work as a result of this. Yeah. Is it looking like it's going to pay for itself?
Is there regrets?
Yeah.
Because I feel like there could be regrets.
Does he have buyer's remorse?
Yeah. I'm really curious.
Yeah. All right, Cole. Well, you've been called out, son. So you better give me some feedback. Slide into my DMs. Now, a little update on my health, because I'm still not 100%. About 2 weeks before the film festival started, I got sick, horribly sick. We talked about this in the last episode. And I thought I'd hurt my back. But the update is, I've been to the physio and they say it is my back, but basically it's my sciatic nerve, which runs down the back of my leg. Because I thought I'd hurt my back, but then as time progressed, it was my leg that was sore, the back of my leg that was sore, running all the way down the back of my leg. And I was like, okay. And so it turns out it's my sciatic nerve. So I started going to physio for the first time in my life. I've never, ever had to go to physio. And the place I joined, it had sort of 3 beautiful blonde women and 1 man. And I thought I liked those odds. And I got what I wanted. and next thing I know, Janaka the man was rubbing my ass for me, a deep tissue ass massage. So that's good, that I've, yeah. So now I've developed a relationship with him, and I've kind of made a horrible mistake because basically I accidentally chose a man, and now once a week I get a deep tissue massage. Now it is good, but I mean,
is it wrong to be chubbing up? That's the question you're asking yourself on a daily.
I don't want to sound like a creep, but if I'm about to embark on a 6-month recovery journey, because so I talked to him about my injury, and he says he was bandying about words like severe and 3-month recovery, and it's like, if I'm going to be going through this big long old recovery, right, and I'm regularly taking my pants off and getting deep tissue ass massages, is it really so wrong if I prefer a pretty blonde lady to do it? Is that bad? Am I a bad man now? Am I a creepy, disgusting, bald pervert in his mid-30s? Am I? A patriarchy empowering Harley Weinstein? Right? Just because I'd prefer a pretty woman to rub my butt than a man? So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got a couple of quick updates.
Seriously, does that make me make a pervert? Like, if I would
prefer... I mean, yes, it makes you a pervert, 100%. Because you're not focused on your recovery.
You're focused on the erection.
You're focused on something else as part of your recovery.
Well, I'll tell you what. Janaka is his name, and Janaka's endings are not as joyous as I would prefer.
They end professionally.
With a
handshake.
With a handshake. Yes. Yeah.
So a couple of quick updates. My close personal friend, Alex Savage.
Yep.
Successfully defended his tag team championships last weekend against Detention, which was a very good match that the crowd seemed very much engaged with. But he will be wrestling at Armageddon in a couple of weeks' time. And why do I bring this up? He's wrestled in a lot of Armageddons. But there is a rumor, if the rumors are to be
believed.
Yeah, but I just had a discussion that my close personal friend Alex Savage may be teaming up with WWE Hall of Famer, the legendary Honky Tonk Man.
Really?
This is crazy. Harley Neville knows who the Honky Tonk Man is.
Of course I know who the fuck... Why do you think I don't know about wrestling? I know a lot about wrestling, guy. I was a WWF fan.
Yeah.
I'm older than you. When you were shitting in your pants and I was still shitting in my pants, I liked wrestling.
And
I know who the Honky Tonk Man is.
The Honky Tonk Man, who is...
I never liked him.
The longest reigning...
I know who he is.
Intercontinental champion.
Can you do a Honky Tonk Man impersonation?
Well, he just goes, I'm the Honky Tonk Man. I'm the Honky Tonk Man. And then he does a little dance. That's basically his song. And then he does a little wiggle.
Did he get his ass kicked generally?
Yes.
Yeah.
But again, he was the longest reigning Intercontinental champion of all time. And it was a great
So what's
run.
going to happen? We're talking here about you actually wrestling... What do you mean? Alex
my
Savage.
Close personal friend. Harley.
Alex Sandwich.
Yeah, Alex Sandwich. After these fucking beers.
Will be wrestling... What do you mean? Like on a tag team with him?
Yes, so we will be tag teaming with the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah.
I will... my close personal friend will outstretch his hand to the Honky Tonk Man and tag him in to do the shake, rattle, and roll.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it.
Well, that is pretty exciting.
I tried to play it cool. Like, I was like... because I was at a meeting where they were talking about, because basically what they do at the Armageddon is they bring in a WWE legend, and he often works with us at IPW. And so they were sort of bandying about ideas, and I casually slipped in the conversation, oh, well, we could do a tag.
Yeah.
Very casually. Just a tag. My close personal friend Alex Savage. I mean, yes, it makes sense. We're good guys. He's a good guy. Whatever.
Are you giving away industry secrets at the moment? Is this kind of secret?
No, I mean, look, we don't...
Because Mark
we don't...
Cookson will be sitting
Oh,
on the edge of the seat during this.
We don't know who's going to win or lose.
Right.
But what we do
But
know
you can announce that,
is
it's happening.
It's very likely that I
okay.
will be tagging with the Honky Tonk Man.
Cookie is creaming his pants right now. He's a cookies and cream, is what he is.
I'll be cookies and cream after this because, look, man, this is my fucking childhood. So the very concept, and we talked a little bit about this where I stepped in the ring with Haku, the man who accidentally super kicked Andre the Giant at WrestleMania 3
and
in
also,
front of 68,000 people. Like, I did that. I put him in a headlock.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
Well, let's not forget the time that the guy from the Bushwhackers touched your penis.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
I forgot all about that. As documented on this show. Bushwhacker, I think it was Bushwhacker Luke. Bushwhacker Luke fondled my balls as a joke, as a like, just fucking around. I got your balls.
Yeah.
And I was quite thrilled by the whole thing. Really. I took it as quite a compliment.
It was that type of sexual abuse that you like.
It's the type of sexual abuse.
It was the good type of sexual abuse.
It just rolls off.
Yeah.
And you just go, this is good stuff. It's funny.
The type of sexual abuse you want more of.
Yeah. I forgot about the fact that Bushwhacker Luke sexually assaulted me.
Sexually abused you.
I fucking forgot about it. This is the thing. I live a crazy life.
No, what you did was you buried that memory. Buried that memory to protect yourself.
Buried it deep inside.
It's a repressed memory.
I buried it deep
But
down.
this podcast won't let you finish.
No,
won't let you forget.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So I could be, or my close personal friend could be wrestling with the Honky Tonk Man. Will he fondle my balls? We'll let you know in the next podcast.
I think that it's reasonably likely that some balls will be fondled at some point, some sweaty ass cracks will be sniffed, all of that wrestling stuff. I'm confident it's going to happen.
We'll keep you updated.
Now, what else we got?
Well, I got some quick movie reviews.
Yeah. What have I watched recently? I don't know. I watched a movie. I watched the Breaking Bad movie. You seen it yet?
Not yet.
Oh, all right. Okay, well, I guess we can't talk about it. But I watched the Breaking Bad, sequel movie, and I would say that it is in keeping with Breaking Bad in terms of the quality of the production and all of that type of thing, and that it's definitely worth watching. Yeah, I definitely would suggest you go check it out.
Yes, I've heard very good things about it. Now, speaking of a few things that are not good.
Okay.
Now, I'm all about warning the listeners.
Okay.
I take the hits so you don't have to. I've actually seen quite a few movies over this last couple of weeks, surprisingly. So I'm just going to go through a couple. In the Tall Grass has just come out on Netflix. Do not, under any circumstances, watch this film.
Okay.
It is a fucking terrible film.
No problem. It doesn't sound like something I'd watch anyway.
People get lost in the grass, and it turns out that they're not only lost in the grass, but...
Well, is this spoilers? Are you about to do some spoilers?
Yeah, spoiler alert.
But is it the type of thing that I might like that you wouldn't like?
Oh, I don't think so, no.
Okay.
So people get lost in this tall grass.
That sounds interesting.
So there's all this tall grass. But the grass is alive.
Ooh, grass is alive!
And this grass has some sort of time-traveling ability.
Okay.
So people kind of keep getting, like, they're in these time loops in the grass.
It's like Lost.
Oh, it's a lot worse than Lost.
Right, okay.
No polar bears here.
No smoke monster.
Anyway, it's fucking awful. Don't watch it.
Okay.
Also, like...
It'll be strike it from my list of films I was never going to watch anyway.
Also, like, computer-generated grass.
Looks
really?
Like shit. Yeah.
You can't fucking grow some grass.
Can't find a field with some grass in
and
it.
then fucking like blow a little fan on the grass to make it move.
Yeah.
You really can't fucking do that, Hollywood.
Like in all those movies you hate.
What is wrong with
grass?
people? The killer grass. Well, it was the killer wind.
Yeah, killer wind.
The happening.
Yeah.
The wind blow. The wind's blowing.
I'm very familiar with killer wind.
So, second film. Now this is gonna shock you. Well, it might not shock you.
No.
Gemini Man.
Oh, no, I was talking, literally last night, I was speaking to two people who work for Weta Digital who did the effects on it. and they also, these highfalutin people also worked for Industrial Light and Sound, the Star Wars.
ILM.
Yeah. So these people, I was hobnobbing with them last night.
Yeah.
And they were talking about it, and they were like saying it's such a shame because the story has been so, like, the story, has been so panned. Everything's been so panned, but actually from a VFX perspective, it's a work of art, and that it's actually was not, you cannot broadcast it in the way it was intended in anywhere in the United States, and there's only like 10 cinemas in the world that can broadcast it to its full capacity, and one of them is Peter Jackson's private one, and another one is like George Lucas's private one, and stuff like that.
Peter Jackson's private beat room.
Yeah.
Technology beat room.
I've been in there. I watched a movie in there, and I did have a beat.
And it was to technology.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Gemini Man. So basically, if you don't know what this is about, it's kind of the near future, and Will Smith is
Are you going to do spoilers?
Yeah, spoiler it.
Well,
I'm saving people here. Trust me.
Well, yeah, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, you're not going to watch it.
To be fair, I'm not going to.
This is not good. But if you really, like, I'm telling you right now, under no circumstances should you waste your time watching Gemini Man. Like,
well, what about to support Will Smith?
No. Will Smith doesn't deserve it for this one. He shit the bed big time. And I love Will Smith. And I'm very forgiving of Will Smith. But there's only one worse Will Smith film than this film. And that's After Earth, the one with his son, where they get out in the middle of nowhere and he's in the spaceship.
I think I didn't actually end up watching that one. But I meant to, but then I didn't.
By M. Night Shyamalan.
Was it? Yeah. I Am Legend. I like the story, but the VFX zombie vampire things really ruined it for me. Like, they shouldn't have been CGI. They should have if they just gotten some people, I would have been like, yeah, okay, this is cool. They had enough money, but they spent it. All the baddies were like CGI in I Am Legend, and I wasn't feeling that. They weren't scary.
Still well worth a watch, though, I think.
Well, it's a good story, but that CGI really ruined it for me.
I wasn't as anti that. But so Gemini Man is Will Smith. He's like a sniper, and he's doing one last job, and the one last job is he does it, but it's not a clean kill, and he's like, oh, I'm getting old, man. Time to hang up the boots, because one a couple inches that way, and I could have hit some kid. And I've got scars, man. I've got demons, ghosts from my past reminding me of all the snipes I've sniped.
Yeah,
and so he's gonna retire, but in fact, that last person was not the person he was told was the person. So he sniped someone he shouldn't have, basically.
Oh.
And so now he's DIA.
Dead in advance.
Basically. And so all the people that he's worked for fucking 30 years who told him to go and do this mission are now sent to kill him.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
He's a fucking badass.
How can you kill the greatest sniper in the world?
Yeah.
Well, you can't unless
you
clone him
and send him against himself,
and you send a younger version of himself to kill himself.
Yeah.
Now, if that sounded like a bit cheesy and shit,
well, no, I didn't think it sounded cheesy and shit. Like, I like that concept, particularly if we delve into what young Will Smith thinks about it, because he's got to go and kill his future self. So
the only thing
I'd be interested to see what he thinks about the whole situation.
The only thing that young Will Smith does in this movie is make a little jerk-off face, like a little pouty jerk-off face for the whole film.
Can I tell you an industry secret?
Go for it.
I heard through my connections that they went through hours and hours and hours and hours of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to capture that correctly, to capture a young version of him and get all his different sort of facial features and all that type of thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. So that's how that works. They went through hours and hours and hours of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, which was actually quite a nice job.
Because it's funny.
Because it's a good show.
Recommend that show.
In order to create this young version of him.
But here's
stick with us, people. You 5150 listeners. You stick with us. We've got the industry inside shit here.
There's a few problems with all of this, right? The story is absolutely terrible and cheesy, and it's almost like there's a bit where a guy walks in. Well, Will Smith is the guy. He walks in with a Coke, and he walks in with a Stella Artois, and he's holding them really facing the fucking camera.
So you can see the view.
And he was like, "Hey, bro, you want a Coke
Or a Stella Artois?"
And then he's like, I know you, man. You're trying to cut down. Here's the Coke." And it's like, that never had to be in the fucking film. Like, that is the kind of high budget bullshit
That's stuff shit we need to be doing.
that is totally unacceptable in this level of film. Like, and like it
he
was.
should have said, "You need to cut down. Here's the Stella Artois."
And but it was so horribly forced on stage, and their real conversation obviously starts after this.
Yeah.
So they should have never left it in, but
Is this
obviously
the
had
first time
to.
you have seen product placement or something? Is this a new concept?
No. I've seen product placement many times, but product placement is like a product placed somewhere.
Yeah.
Not fucking the main actor talking about it in this convoluted bullshit way. So that was the first thing that sent me into a little mini rage. But then this whole idea of like, hey, we make Will Smith young again. Well, apparently you fucking can't, because I have seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Wait, you don't
it
think
looks
it looked good?
nothing fucking like this computer CG boobery.
So you didn't think it looked very good?
It looked good for a computer.
Yeah.
But as Quentin
But you could tell.
Tarantino said, if I wanted to fucking, what did he say? Something about like,
if jerk off to a video game.
Yeah, like if I wanted to do CG shit, I'd stick my dick in a Nintendo. Well, that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
It's sticking your dick in a Nintendo for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
But with this terrible story, so like...
Not always unpleasant, though.
No. I mean, look.
They shouldn't have made it so slot-shaped and given it to young boys. You know, to teenagers. They shouldn't have made it so slot-shaped.
Well, they shouldn't have given it to you, obviously.
And made me love it so much. Frankly, I'm a victim.
You're a victim of the sexy shape of the 8-bit Nintendo cartridge.
Exactly. Marketed to my prepubescent brain.
So it wasn't dust that you're blowing off the cartridges.
No.
A little diversion. Back to my fucking Gemini Man rant. Okay, so that was the first problem. The second problem is that, like, all of it stuff is like, no, man, I'm out of the game, I'm retired. And it's like, how many fucking times?
Do we need to see that story?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's so like, it's like, hey, I'm a big movie star. What do you got for me? Well, you're a sniper. Oh, okay, sniper. Well, you're the best sniper in the world. Okay, but what's my motivation, like, you know, because I don't want to just be a killer. Oh, no, you're not a killer. You've got lots of regrets. You've got lots of regrets and disappointment about killing all these people. So you're actually dealing with all these feelings. Oh, cool. I like dealing with feelings on screen. What else you got? Well, then, guess what? The younger you comes in and fight you, but you'll play the younger you, and will digitally fuck up your face and make you look sort of like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but not really. Even though everyone's seen the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, so knows what you look like at that age. Sold. I'm cool. So, the story, the acting, all of that stuff was a big problem. And also, they have these epic fight scenes through these beautiful... So, they wind up in Budapest, right? And wind up in all these different places. And then they have these amazing fight scenes with Will Smith versus Will Smith. Except there's no one fucking there for blocks and blocks and blocks. There is literally, they're having these massive gunfights. And there's not a single person. It's like there would be hundreds, if not thousands of people that you'd be walking past. But they were like, you know what? That's going to be really annoying to have to stage extras through all of these action scenes. So how about we cut half of that, and for like, you know, half of this action sequence, it's just Will Smith and Will Smith. And then we'll just close this whole thing. Well, they're not empty fucking buildings. This is very upsetting to me. That
sounds like the type of thing that would bother me, but not you.
But
that to me sounds like exactly the type of thing that I'd be like, where are the fucking people? And you'd be like, Harley, you've got to suspend your belief. And you know, you could totally fall out of the sky in a fridge and survive.
And that's the thing. I'm very tolerant of this nonsense a lot of the time, until it gets so nonsensical that you just have to stop and go, what the fuck is going on? They also shot some day for night scenes.
I hate day for night.
Day for night.
I hate it.
Day for night, for people that don't know, is essentially when you shoot in the daytime, but in the you put on a filter, and maybe in the
you do some
in
VFX
post-production, you grade it So the idea is it's actually nighttime.
Yeah.
But you shoot it in the daytime.
Because it's easier.
Because it's easier.
Because Will Smith doesn't want
and
to
it's
stay up
cheaper.
all night. Will doesn't want to stay up all night.
He's not interested in staying up all night.
Will's like, fuck off, cunt. I'm not starting work at 11 p.m. and finishing at 7
7
a.m.
in the morning.
I'm not fucking
I'm
doing
not
that.
doing Guy Pigden shift.
yeah,
I'm Will Smith.
I'm Will fucking Smith.
And so, of course,
So we're going to shoot day for night, guys.
You shoot day for night.
Figure it out,
So
you
of course
fuckers.
you've got this huge moonlight beaming fucking down on the water in their faces and everywhere, and it just looks fucking awful. And it's like, come on, guys, you're going to spend $130 million on a movie, and you're not going to shoot night at night?
Okay, all right. Well, look, shout out to my friends at Weta that worked on that film.
Look,
the VFX are great.
Shout out to the Weta people, because I do want to say, it's not like, no, it didn't quite look like young Will Smith.
Yeah.
Not quite. Because it's still a fucking computer, and we haven't quite got there. It was the best version of young version yet. You know, like young person, we made him young.
What was it better
He's
than?
old and we made him young.
Was it better than Arnie in Terminator 3?
Yeah, it was. It was about the same.
Or
really. But there was a lot more of it.
Didn't we see Han Solo young at one point, like young Harrison Ford, or did we not see that?
No, well, they just cast a different actor.
The incredible Mr. Button,
the incredible Mr. Benjamin Butt. Yeah,
you remember that?
Yeah. So
Brad Pitt.
So they've done it in a bunch of things,
Yeah.
and I think that's the other problem. Like, if this film came out 20 years ago, you go, "Holy shit, man! It's Will Smith versus Will Smith." But get this: there's the young version of Will Smith, but he looks actually fucking young.
Okay, so let's get into spoilers here because we need to know.
Yeah.
Obviously, old Will Smith wins somehow because he absolutely has to, or he convinces young Will Smith to join him, and together they make an awesome killer sniper team and, overthrow the evil people.
Number 2, bro.
Yeah, because that's the thing. You can't have bad Will Smith. You can't have it.
No.
Has Will Smith ever played a bad guy? Literally ever? Have you ever seen Will Smith in a bad guy role?
No, well, he was like a kind of a bad guy in Suicide Squad, but they made him.
He wasn't Bad Boys.
But he made them the.
But he wasn't really a bad boy.
He made him the goodest bad,
right?
the goodest bad
boy,
guy, and he had a heart and all this shit, and he did. And no, so you're right. No, you never have, and it's a bit disappointing.
And so you're like, okay, well, if we're not going to see him as an actual bad guy, because they should have. To make the story work, when they cloned him, they should have taken away all his good attributes and only left him with his bad attributes. And then that might have been interesting because he would be like confronting his own demons, things that he felt inside himself were kind of exaggerated or revealed in this other younger version of him. It might have been interesting psychologically.
Yeah, no. They sort of tried to touch on that, but like old Will Smith just gave a lecture to young Will Smith where it was like, yeah, you wake up in the middle of the night, you don't know why, but you really get nervous because of that kill that you did the other day, and you shit in your pants, and you don't like shitting your pants, but you shit them anyway. and then Will Smith, like young Will Smith is like trying not to cry.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, and he's
Thank you for teaching me.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
It was never see that film.
Okay.
There's so very few films.
Listen, I'm not going to see it.
Okay, let's move on to a good film.
Okay, what about Joker? Because I haven't
Yeah,
seen
so let's
Joker
move on
yet.
to
I
Joker.
haven't seen Joker, so
No
this
spoilers.
has got to be a no spoilers review.
This is 100%.
So I swear to God,
100% no
I will
spoilers.
shit my pants right here live on the fucking show.
Okay, 100%. Joker is very good. Joker is one of probably the best film that I've seen this year. Easy. It's not really the Joker. It's just a guy with mental problems. And it's fucking interesting, and it's cool, and it references some very good films.
I have one question.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this counts as a spoiler or not.
Yeah.
I have one question. Now, I haven't seen it, and I'm willing to know this answer.
Okay.
Does Batman have anything to do with it? Is Batman in this? No spoilers, okay? But
Yeah, no spoilers.
Batman in this?
No.
Okay.
But it is one of the best.
I feel like I'd know about it because it would have to be the Christian Bale Batman to be because he's the current Batman, right? There's
No. Ben Affleck's the current Batman.
Ben Affleck is the current Batman after Christian Bale.
Yeah, but like
Ben Affleck, I thought he did it like years ago. I thought he was. Wasn't it years ago?
3 movies he did that.
Since Christian Bale.
The new Batman.
Where are they?
You
can't beat the original Christian Bale Batman. Where are they?
The new Batman is Robert Pattinson. Do you know who that is?
I did hear about that. Yes.
Yeah, that's the new Batman.
But is he... So hang on. So you were kidding about Ben Affleck?
No, Ben Affleck is the most current Batman.
Really?
Yeah. He's been a Batman 3 times.
Ever
4
since
times.
Trump got in, man, America's just gone really
Hey,
downhill.
Ben Affleck was a good Batman in a bunch of shitty films.
But I thought he was before Christian Bale. I thought Christian Bale was the latest and greatest Batman.
No, Christian Bale was...
Christian Bale, was he like, I'm done with this role?
He did the 3 Christopher Nolan ones and then he's out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No! You're a great guy, but you're never going to work in this town again. Or whatever he says. Oh, good for you.
Good for you. Well, it's fuck now, isn't it?
Fuck's sake, man, you're amateur. I did actually have a bunch of auditions. Because, and in those auditions, one of them was immediately, like, I just started getting sick, and then I went for this audition, and it went really well, and then I was crippled in bed for a little while, and luckily I didn't get it, because I literally would not have been able to do it, but it did go well, and I had a bunch of other auditions as well, and then they all went well, they all seemed like they went well, but then I didn't get any of them. But I'm more of a producer nowadays. I was thinking about getting a tattoo on my upper body somewhere. Just because, like, the whole reason I haven't got any tattoos on my upper body is because of the acting, yeah. So I was thinking about, like, my inner arm. You've got one on the, sort of on the bicep, on the inner bicep. And I was like, I want to be like Guy.
Yeah, I want to be cool like Guy.
I want to be cool like Guy. So I'm going to get the will needs to outweigh the skill. What does that say?
The will must be stronger than the skill.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali,
a.k.a. Cassius Clay. So that's what Guy's got. And I was thinking about getting just the same thing as Guy on the inside and maybe like a phoenix on the outside. Same
Phoenix.
As Guy. And on the other arm, I was going to get a Star Wars. Rogue Leader.
Rogue Leader, yeah. No, well, look, of course, you're still an actor.
Yeah. Well, I'm not giving up on acting. I'm just more saying that I'm such a big shot now that I can have tattoos.
You're such a big shot that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it just doesn't matter. They'll just be like, like Corey Gonzalez-McClure?
No.
He's a Kiwi comedian who was in What We Do in the Shadows, and he was also, the other night, he was in Kathy McDonald's film at the film festival playing the waiter in the film #Collapsing Empire, which is a short film. Did you miss that one?
Missed that.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's a known New Zealand comedian, and he's got like neck tattoos, and he just plays like, it doesn't seem to affect him. I mean, he played a waiter recently, like in a fancy restaurant. That was a comedy, but sure. But he had neck tattoos, and that was okay. So I'm thinking about getting a neck tattoo.
Your career is going to catapult into the stratosphere as Amy the Vegan, as in your starring role as Amy the Vegan.
Oh, absolutely. I do think.
Lest we forget.
Yeah.
Also, what else is going to catapult you into the stratosphere? Oh, you're...
older?
Oh, I was going to say the family.
The family, yep. Okay, the family, older, yep.
So don't worry about that. Give up on those tattoos for another 10 years.
I am already kind of catapulted into the stratosphere.
What, after the shout out from the mayor?
From the shout out from the mayor, yeah. In episode 123.
So you've been doing research on these old episodes.
I've been going back and listening because I wanted to know, like, because Wazza and Mrs. Wazza, they both went back and started from the start. And it made me wonder. It made me wonder what they were actually listening to,
Yeah.
Like I was thinking, like, does this even represent us? And I was thinking, like, is this even a bad idea? I was thinking, like, they might go back and get so sick of the Guy and Harley shtick that they're like, you know what, I'm going to stop listening to the latest episodes because I get it, I'm over it. Now, anyway, so I went back for research purposes to see if they're still good. And the answer is yes, they're all fucking awesome.
They're brilliant.
They're brilliant stuff. It's genius stuff. I highly recommend you go back to episode 1
and start from there.
Just start there and just work your way forward.
May as well.
Yeah, I mean, like there are some shining pieces of corn in this turd, and there are some turdy parts of this turd. But you've just got to accept it all, eat it, and grin.
Dig your way through.
Yeah.
Also that's what I said to my girlfriend. I was like,
eat it.
I was like, fuck.
Eat it.
I was like,
you're like, eat it and grin.
I was like, fuck telling you my life story. Just listen to the podcast.
Just listen to the fucking show.
Like, you listen now. Just go back and start listening to it. You'll find out all what I've been doing for the last
all the information about your ex-girlfriends.
Everything.
It's all there. It's all documented.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. Now, so in episode 123, mid-shoot madness, when we were halfway through the shoot of Amy the Vegan, you claim that toilets drain in different directions in the northern and southern hemisphere.
I did, yeah.
Now, I didn't think that sounded very scientific, and I questioned it. But you said it was true, and I said, well, all right, okay, well, Guy would know. Fortunately, Neil deGrasse Tyson has listened to the show, to the Guy and Harley podcast. Shout out, Neil. Thanks for listening, mate. Thanks for being a Patreon supporter, too. Patreon.com/Pigville. Thank you, Neil. Neil deGrasse Tyson listened to the show, and he's weighed in via tweet. He says, toilet bowls drain however they're designed to circulate water. That's a bad Neil deGrasse Tyson. It's irrelevant whether you live above or below the equator. Toilet bowls drain however they're designed to circulate water. It's irrelevant whether you live above or below the equator. So, as in the design of the shape of the bowl itself is what decides the direction that the toilet goes in. So, this is what happens, Guy, when you get your science from The Simpsons. Because that's where you got it from, I think. From The Simpsons, when The Simpsons go to Australia, and Bart calls up that guy and gets him to flush his toilet and ask him which way it goes. And he goes, now go ask your neighbor. And then he has to run, 50 miles to the neighbor's house. And when he gets back, it's been like the world's biggest toll call. And The Simpsons suddenly owe a lot of money to the Australian government.
Yeah, well, I remember that from The Simpsons, but I actually think that it's been documented on a lot of things, like a lot of shows.
Well, I'm with Neil.
Fuck Neil.
I'm with Neil.
Fuck Degrassi.
I'm with Neil.
Yeah, well, that's because he's talking about the ones that flush down.
Well, there's not many that flush up. Now listen, listeners, we need you, okay? Because you've been waiting for years to get on this show, dear listener. Jamie Oxley, you're out there, you've been listening, Jason Combs, Nick Zalati. I know I haven't shouted you out for a while, but, shout out to you. All you guys, all you old schoolers, Jeremy Howson, you guys are all still out there, and you guys have been listening for a long time. And also to you newbies too. Now look, your rise is imminent, okay? We're calling for volunteers. Now, Guy doesn't know this, but he does now. We're calling for volunteers. You see, I'm a communist, and I'm creating a collective farm, and I'm farming out work to the 5150 Proliferation Army, all right? So here's what I want you guys to do, right? When you're listening to the show, any show, old or new, going right back to episode 1, if you hear a sound bite that's funny or thoughtful or engaging, then please, clip it out. Now, don't ask me to clip it out. Don't send me the time codes. You clip it out, okay? You clip it out.
Just record it on your phone.
Yes, exactly. You can literally record it on your phone. And then send it to me, okay, via pigvilleproductions@gmail.com. So any highlights, anything where you're like, it might be a zingy one-liner, but it might also be like a 5-minute or 10-minute conversation. That might be fine if you think it's really a good piece of the show. Now, what I'll do is I'll upload it and release it as a highlight or teaser, and not only will you get a shout out on the show, but you will have, in your own little way, altered the very course of the Pigville Productions Guy and Harley narrative. Through your toil, you will become part of the DNA of this show. So go on, listeners. Work will make you free. Okay? Here's the... All right, so yeah, send those in, okay?
I see what you did there.
See what I did? What did I do?
You, in your own way, your own special Harley Neville way, you made someone else do some work that you should do.
Yeah.
But instead, you delegated it.
I delegated it.
To the fucking 150 people that listen to this thing. So you didn't have to do it.
Yes.
I'm very familiar with the strategy.
This is a very good strategy.
Got a little email from you the other day. Hey
mate, can you make one of these?
Hey,
a one sheet.
Looking for a one sheet.
I need a one sheet for my trip to AFM. Can you and Tisha please create that for me?
And you were talking to the producer. I was like, ask her a few questions. You're like, hey, why don't you just talk to the producer yourself directly?
Wait, what was that? What was this? Who? Wait, start again. What was this?
Distributor.
Yeah.
You're like, I was
Guy was like
technical questions. And you're like, hey, why don't I just connect you guys?
Yeah.
You just have those conversations.
Well, this is what I do. This is what I do. I connect people. I am the glue that holds it all together. You see? I'm an invaluable part of the toolkit. Yeah. I also made a discreet World War II reference in there, which I always love doing as well.
And what?
Work will make you free.
Oh right.
Yeah.
I thought that was a Russian saying.
Close. It's what it says above the gates to Auschwitz. In German.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. It says in
It's
German.
much darker than what I thought.
Much darker, yeah. It was a lie. It was propaganda to sort of encourage people to work hard.
Yeah.
But they had no intention of obviously letting anybody free.
They were going to burn them all.
A terrible, dark part of our history.
Harley used it for levity.
I didn't. I used it for education. I'm educating the 5150. Yeah, so tell you what though, getting injured did make me feel very, very old recently.
Oh, well,
it aged me. It aged me.
100%. I mean, you look like an 80-year-old man. I did mention that.
I shuffle like an 80-year-old man.
Move
There was a
around.
movie in the festival called Walk a Mile. It was about a very
about an
old
80-year-old man
who walks very slowly.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in pain all the time. That's how I have been walking. Because I've injured my sciatic nerve, and the issue is like I can't go on my tippy toes on my left foot like I can on my right foot, and I can't clench my left butt cheek as firmly as I can clench my right butt cheek. And this is a real problem because I'm 36 years old, and if this ripe, furry little peach of an ass, starts rotting and becoming flaccid, it's going to be a real issue because I'm not going to get that back. That's not something that's going to be easy to get back if I let my left ass cheek start sagging, okay?
So if your left ass cheek starts sagging and you keep sleeping with women with your limp grandfather dick.
My semi-soft grandfather cock.
You've mentioned several times
Yeah.
on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real problem.
Well, look, I'm not going to be thrusting her into a fucking quivering post-orgasm mess, am I? With this busted, ass cheek and my fucking semi-soft grandfather cock.
Well, also post-orgasm. For who?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to be pounding her into a post-orgasm bliss, you know?
Right,
She's not going to be reaching that stage.
No.
A quivering post-orgasm... what did I say? Mess.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
So, well, and I guess to your point too, you've had a good run.
Yeah.
You've had a good 36-year run.
Yeah.
Like me, my world, my life has been fraught with injuries. Whether it's broken, smashed in faces.
Yeah, guy got his face smashed in once.
Broken collarbone.
I don't remember you breaking your collarbone.
Yeah, I broke my collarbone. Hip surgery.
I must have really not given a shit for me to not actually remember you at all ever breaking your collarbone.
Yeah.
Where did that happen?
Well, it did happen in Dunedin.
Was I in Dunedin at the time?
I think so. Yeah. I had my arm up here for 2 months.
Well, I'm sure that was very traumatic for you. I'm sure that was quite a moment when you would have liked a close friend to, because it's quite scary, But I don't remember that.
But anyway, so I've had a number of maladies over the years. And I've also had back I hurt my back when I was 16 where I could barely fucking move.
Yeah.
So all of this shit has already happened to me. And you've just been kind of
coasting on through.
Coasting along.
Just Harley Nivelling my way through life.
Harley Nivelling it. And also doing absolutely the minimal, not even the minimal amount of effort to maintain the shape that you as in terms of exercising your body in such a way.
The toast diet. The toast diet really worked for me.
That would sort of keep you good for your life. Your diet doesn't reflect that, but certainly your exercising habits do not reflect that at all. And even at their best, are pathetic.
Well, I'm rotten on the inside.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But I just feel obviously something had to give at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And the thing that gave was my sciatic nerve.
And that, look, the idea that you threw your back out for what has now been months.
Yeah. Well, no. It's been
it's been...
No, it's been a little over a month, probably.
Right.
Yeah. A little over a month. Yeah. They said it could take 3 months.
But I always had this thought where I was like,
I can't wait until Harley hurts
What
himself.
was more-
That motherfucker, that lucky motherfucker, fuck him.
basically. No, I mean, it was more like, fuck, wait till you learn, like, some of this shit.
Yeah.
Because you just don't fucking get it. When I say all this stuff, you're like,
I'm like,
yeah, whatevs, mate.
Whatever, old
Yeah,
man.
whatever, you fucking old piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like, I give a fuck.
Well, you and your inferior genes.
Yeah. Like, I give a shit.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, it's all come crashing down.
Well, no.
Not really.
I mean, accidents.
I've got to get another hip
happen.
surgery.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're worried about.
Well,
You got to rehab the sciatic nerve. I've got to get a fucking second hip surgery.
I guess what's scary about it is that in my life, I've never had my body not be able to do exactly what I tell it to.
Yeah.
You know, and this is the first time in my life I'm like, I can go up on my tippy toes on my right foot. I can't go up on my tippy toes on my left foot. And it's like, okay, well, what the fuck? Why the fuck not? You know, like, you know, my muscles are still there. And so it's kind of like, well, it's scary. It's a concern. And also for it to happen 2 weeks before this annual event, this festival, you know, was very, very bad timing because I also was struck down with the plague at the same time.
And, you know, obviously your inability to pleasure women going forward.
Well, I mean, that's more of an ongoing theme. I'd say it was more of an ongoing theme than anything.
But it's now been advanced.
Yeah, well, I mean,
drastically.
The chances of the women reaching orgasm were slim before, and now it's
Now you've got more of a chance of the mayor of Auckland
shouting me
you
out than making a woman come.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true. And I'm lazy now as well because I'm so old, you know. I'm 36 and I'm still single, but I'm like so like what gets you going? And if she's like, "Oh, it's kind of difficult actually." I'm like, "Sweet as. Good night." So, yeah.
Well, also, you know.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, ladies.
Well, on that note, I think we should wrap it up.
Oh, no.
Because one, I've got to go. B, this fucking horrible seat that you got me sitting on is incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Guy's
been rage farting into my pillow. Now, during Swan Song, which was our episode recently, the direction changing episode, where we had a deep and meaningful fight. In that episode, Guy was sitting on one of my pillows, and I just know that throughout the course of that 3-hour episode, we were yelling at each other, screaming. He definitely had several rage farts onto my pillow, which I then rested my head on and went to sleep that night. So,
you wonder why your eyes start watering.
And I wonder why I got sick.
But yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. Fine. I mean, I was just going to end by saying that, like, maybe I'm not getting old. Maybe I just need a blowjob and a home cooked meal. You know. So if any of the Sifty 150 would like to sleep with me, just slide into my DMs. I'm currently taking applications. And if any of my now we won't do another episode. Or well, I don't know if we might do another episode. No, we could do another episode before I go to LA. I'm not sure. But if we don't, we'll do one when I'm in LA. So if anybody is listening from LA and would like to sleep with me, just slide into my DMs. Yeah. Or if you would like to meet with me for business purposes, if you are a filmmaker yourself, I am a New Zealander, so I'm very likely to actually meet up with you and wind up in your rape dungeon. So just slide into my DMs again. Yeah. Anything else to add?
I don't have anything to contribute.
Okay, all right, good. Okay, all right, cool. So in that case, go to patreon.com/Pigville and you can donate $1 a month there if you'd like to keep us alive and keep us going, because all that money really does contribute to things that we use for, you know, hosting this podcast, for example. So please go along there. Otherwise, you can go to PayPal and you can make a one-off donation by using the email address pigvilleproductions@gmail.com. Or find us on Facebook, facebook.com/Guy and Harley. If you've enjoyed the show, go there, hit like. And if you're listening, wherever you're listening, go and hit thumbs up, 5-star, give us a review. All that stuff really, really, really helps. Thank you so much. And we will see you hopefully before I go to LA, but possibly when I'm in LA.
See you later.
We're still live on the podcast. Oh, sorry, on the stream. So if you could refrain from masturbating, that would be
Is
good.
there anyone on the stream?
There was one person on the stream.
Oh, it was my girlfriend.
Okay. Shout out Tisha. Episode 148. If that doesn't look right. Fuck it. That's fine. I'll put it there. All right. So that is the end of the recorded part of the show. Guys leaving now.
Stand up, because my ass is
Dead. How long was that show?
Along 143, I thought I saw.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yep. Yeah, seems about right. Oh, good shit. All right. Well, Tisha. Guy's going to flick you we flash of the penis now, live on the show. All right. Cool. All right. Well, good night, Tisha. I like Titcha.
Yeah, well, that's
Titcha.
I've gotten real used to that.
Titcha. Titcha. Shout out Titcha. Oh, man. Always somebody new arrives on the stream right when we're finishing up. And then they fucking comment. Bro, Indie by Night, you just got here, but you're late. We're finishing up the show, man.
We've just been talking for an hour and 43 minutes.
And you missed it, man. You got to hit subscribe. Then you'll get a notification at the beginning. But look, tell you what you can do is you can go to our videos and you'll be able to watch the entire show if you would like to. So I'm going to upload that soon. Imagine quitting right now. I'm sorry. We're sorry. So is this mystery dick that you can see in the background. Yeah, all right. Good night, Indie by Night. We love you. Please hit follow. Goodbye. Oh, fuck. Wrong one. Shut the wrong program. There we go.